Is your very first play of a board game worth even remembering, or is it better left
lost in the shuffle?
Welcome back to another episode, and Grant's here with me.
Hey, thanks for having me, everybody.
Oh yeah. In fact, Grant's been with me for a while. You've been coming over a couple of days in a row.
Yep.
And in the evenings, we've actually been able to relax and play a couple of games.
Yeah, it's been fun.
And there was a game last night that you saw on my shelf, and you said, you know what, I've had this, and I've never got a chance to play it.
I've had it for 5 years, and it remains on my shelf of shame, and that is Dice Throne. It was the last game I bought for myself before the pandemic started, and you would think like, oh, a two-player game, pandemic was perfect for that. And I just got this mental block where I was like, this was from the before times. This is when everything was happy, and I can't go back to that. And I just never have forced myself to get it to the table. So thank you for teaching me the game. I finally played it.
I'm very happy that I was able to help you get past that mental block.
Yeah. I needed somebody. I couldn't do it myself. I needed somebody else to help me through, so I appreciate it.
Now, one thing that was interesting though is I always record my plays in BG Stats.
Sure.
Last night was your very first play, and as we were playing, I was reminded of something you actually said while we were recording an episode the other day. A rule you have for yourself about your very first plays, and I thought it would be interesting to elaborate on that entire episode.
Sure. Now, I don't have any problem with people recording in their BG Stats that we played a game together. However, if it is my first game, I will not allow you to record my score. I literally don't want you to put my score in there. You can log the play if you want. I get that people want to know what they've played and when they've played it and who they've played with, but you cannot have my score on my very first game. People go, Grant, what's your score? And I go, not enough to win. Like, that's all you need to know, is that I did not win, and that's all you need to know.
I have never heard of anyone with that requirement.
Yes.
So that, of course, begs the question of why?
Okay, so I am a very competitive person that has spent a lot of years trying to compartmentalize that part of myself.
Oh, really?
And when you record like my first score, it brings that out of me too much. I want my first play to just be like, yeah, I'm just figuring the game out. It's fine. Like, I don't care how I did or how, I just wanted to learn the game and have a good time. But if you record it in your stats, I know that that's in there forever. That you are gonna have my score forever, and I don't want, then I'll just start thinking about my score the whole time. That's the only point then. To me, like, that becomes the goal, and it will bring out this side of me that nobody wants to see, that I don't even want to see.
You're getting a little hot right now just talking about it.
It's true. Well, I was a college soccer player. I played in the national championship once upon a time, and you don't play like major college sports if you are not a very competitive person. Here's a story that I will use to illustrate. When I was like 24, I was playing pickup soccer with other people. And there was no referees, there was no stakes, it was pickup soccer, but I'm coming off of being a college athlete, so I took it way too seriously. And I'm gonna clean this up. Know that I said words that aren't appropriate for here. I knocked into shoulders with another guy.
Okay.
He goes down on the ground and he goes, that's a foul. And I go, that's not a foul. That was shoulder to shoulder. And he goes, no, that's a foul. And I stood over him and I was like, it's only a foul if you're a wimp. And I punched him. Look, I'm not proud of that story. And I literally was like, then immediately I was like, I shouldn't be here. I get it. I'm the bad guy here. Like, I gotta walk away. And I didn't play soccer for like 5 or 6 years after that. Wow. I was just like, I have to reset my brain. So it took me going like, okay, this isn't just about winning or losing. This is about making friends and having a good time and experiencing stuff together and making memories together. And then coming back at it from that angle, I'm a much more pleasant person.
So you really had to go out of your way to unplug from that for a while and reset?
Yes. People will like get mad at me where I'm like, don't record my first score. They go, well, they think it's about them, and I'm like, no, this has nothing to do with you. Mm-hmm. This is about me and what I've learned about myself. Like, I'm at an unfair advantage the first time I'm playing a game. right? I'm just figuring out the rules, and so to me that's not fair. I'm sorry if that upsets you that you can't put my score in there, but like, please don't bring that out of me. You know?
Okay, well, what happens then when we play Dice Throne again, and it's your second and other subsequent plays? What happens then?
Well, then I'm okay with it a little bit more, because if on the second time you beat me, I won't be happy about it, but I will go, okay, that was a much more level playing field, so I'm okay if you beat me a little bit more.
Okay.
There's a lot of different ways to have fun, and I've just realized for myself I need to like do these mental steps to make sure that fun is first for me and the competition is not.
I can see that.
Yes.
Very first time I played Orleans.
Yeah.
I'm just like experimenting, seeing how things work, how all the pieces work together.
Sure.
About halfway through the game, it started to click.
Yeah.
And then something happened. I'm happy to say this is the only time this has happened. This other player did something that completely foiled my plans. And I felt my face go red, and I got hot. And I almost burst out at him saying something impolite.
Yeah.
And I stopped myself going, whoa, it's just a game.
Yeah.
You don't be this invested in it.
Yeah.
But in a way, it kind of scared me.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
And the only time that it will really bring it out of me now is when people are mean to you when it doesn't help their game. There was one time a game where I was like, I need to take a walk right now. And I got up and I took a walk around the block and stuff because I was like, I'm gonna be too mad.
After the game or during the game?
During the game.
Oh my word.
How do you handle your first plays of stuff typically?
I typically go in for a first play just thinking, okay, I'm just gonna see how all these pieces work. I'm gonna experiment a little bit.
Yeah.
With the expectation that I'm gonna have that moment that it clicks. And you're like, oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this, this, and this to make this happen. I try to focus on waiting to experience that moment.
Sure, that moment where you're like, ooh, I am good at games. I get this. I can figure things out.
Exactly, yeah. And kind of just reveling in that. Because another thing that can happen is if you're playing a game with other people that have played it before, you can have that feeling of, oh my gosh, I'm gonna look stupid, I'm gonna look like an idiot, I'm gonna get the lowest score.
Yeah.
And so going in with that mentality can help prevent that from happening too.
Yeah. I mean, a game that I can say I never got into personally, partly was because of something like that, is Wingspan, because the guys that I was playing with played so much Wingspan that by the time that I like joined them for playing games, it's like they knew every combination of birds, they knew and I was just like, look, if I lose but I'm like in it, that's one thing. Nobody wants to get crushed, right? You're like, ooh, I have a chance, oh, I lost, okay, well, what could I do better next time? If you just get smoked in a game, you're like, well, I was never in that to begin, like that's not fun.
That can also ruin the entire game for you forever.
Yeah, I felt like that.
A friend of mine and I had a similar experience. We went to this local game day. It had about 100 people or so there. And there was this group that was setting up Battlestar Galactica. And it was like, I don't know, with all the expansions, it held up like 8 people or so, 6 to 8. It was a full complement of players. And they needed 2 more spots. And my friend and I, we had never played before. And we're like, oh, this is great. We're going to play with everything, see how it works. And as soon as we sat down, the host of the game explained to us, we play this every week. And so when they explained it to us, they explained it at a level that someone who's already played the game every week for 2 years would understand. But it didn't matter. Because for the next 3 hours, my friend and I just sat there watching everyone else play the game for us. Oh, you should go down to the holding bay. Oh, you should go to the engine room. Oh, you should go do this. And I've never been able to play Battlestar Galactica again.
Well, because there is like a fine line of that. Like on a first play, I don't mind somebody saying, this is why I'm doing this. Or like, here's a few things to consider on your turn.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't want somebody to like tell you what to do on your turn, but you want to like, I almost have these like strategy tips, I feel like.
Exactly.
If someone goes like, I'm playing this card and this is why I'm playing this card, and you're like, oh, okay, I can see why you did that. That to me is helpful on a first play.
Huge
but there's
difference.
like a fine line, between just like quarterbacking your game or
playing
giving you suggestions. I also do want to note that I am consistent. Whenever I tell people about this BG stats thing about how I won't let people record my first game, they always go, well, will you let them record it if you win? No, I am a man of principle, okay? And I just say no first plays recorded, so I don't even when I win.
Bravo for the consistency.
Yeah.
Sticking to your principles.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, before we get to your game night pick, which I have a suspicion I know what's going to be. But before we get there, I just wanted to ask you, the noble viewer, how do you handle your first plays of games? Do you have any rules for yourself that you institute, or is there a certain way that you approach it and play? Let us know down in the comments, because that's what you do on YouTube. All right, Grant, do you have a game night pick for us?
I do, and it's sitting right behind us. I feel like we have to recommend Dice Throne now after talking about it. This was the impetus for this episode, and so I feel like it was a lot of fun. It's one that I can legitimately and honestly say that I'm like itching to play again. You know, with my first plays, I'm often decently fast and loose, where I'm just like, yeah, I get it, let's just go.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to let's jump in, you know? You told me the core rules, and then I'll figure stuff out as we go.
See how the gears work together.
Yeah, exactly. And so one of the clear fun things about the game is getting to experience different characters and explore different, moves and combos and stuff like that. And dice rolling's always fun, right? You're rolling a bunch of dice and hoping that it comes out for you. Dice rolling, fun exploring the asymmetric characters, the different special abilities and stuff like that. So I want to play it again.
I'm very proud to have been able to teach you that game.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It was fun.
Yeah. Also fun, maybe this episode, but probably also the next one. So be sure to join us again real soon. And in the meantime, take care, and we'll talk to you then.
I love you.